Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to Business Study online class. Our today's topic is bookkeeping ethics. Bookkeeping ethics. These are the acceptable guidelines and values that bookkeeper must strictly follow while providing his professional duties. These are guidelines, laid down rules that the bookkeeper must follow when discharging his or her duty. While ethics is a code of conduct or moral rules that a person must follow when discharging his or her duty or when performing his or her business as well. This ethics addresses the issue of integrity, accountability, to care for diligence, objectivity, and professional competence, confidentiality, and also transparency. These are what we call ethics or guidelines. Now, let's go to meaning of transparency, accountability, and probity. These ethics that we are talking about lead us to what we call TAP, where the full meaning of TAP is transparency, accountability, and probity. This transparency, the bookkeeper are expected to disclose all facts about the financial transaction and make such information available when needed by the stakeholder. There should be no corner for bookkeeper. That is what we call transparency. When you take any transparent thing like lining, anything that you will be able to see the opposite side of it, that is what we call transparency. When we are talking of transparency, there shouldn't be any corner for the bookkeeper. He should be able to open up to the stakeholder whenever there is need for it. Another one is accountability. The bookkeeper should be able to answerable for the specific result or outcome of an activities over a particular period of time. The bookkeeper must be able to accountable for all the transactions performed during the section or during a period or for a specific period. You should be able to account for all the transactions performed to the stakeholder or account it for the auditor when such information are needed. That is what we call accountability. For example now, assuming we want to do an end of the year activities or end of the year activities in the school now, when the principal now call upon some people in charge that as you are my bookkeeper or this staff, this social staff, maybe the principal mention some staff or gather some staff together that you will be in charge of this thing, and your leader will be my secretary. Secretary may be the bookkeeper of the accountant in the bursary department. So maybe they give them money, huge amount of money to buy all those things, to stock the things they needed for the end of the year activities like food stuff, gift, end of the year prize, and other things like that. For bookkeeper that is very accountable, the bookkeeper will make sure that every transaction must be recorded. This is what we spend for transportation. Maybe by the time they are going, the road safety attack them on the road, they bribe them or they give them money, they pay tickets to enter the market, they go to buy what they purchase. So he or she must be accountable for all those things. That means at the end of the day, when they total the money they spend, it will be tallied with the amounts given them by the authority to stock those things. That is the accountability. Another one is probity. Probity deals with honesty. The bookkeeper must be honest and straightforward in all business and professional relationship. He must be honest in any form. There should be no any form that the bookkeeper will be lying to the boss or to the authority. That is the meaning of transparency, accountability, probity, and bookkeeping ethics. Now, let's look into advantages and need of transparency, accountability, and probity in brackets TAP. The advantages and needs of TAP in business organization or in any office. Advantages of TAP. It institutes good ways of doing business in both private and government section. Yes. For private and government section, they need this TAP in their staff. They need somebody that is transparent, somebody that the accountability is good, and somebody that is honest. They need such a person in managing their business for them. It promotes public integrity. Yes. If there is trust, there is transparency, there is accountability, and the person is honest, it will promote public integrity. Even if some people are coming from outside, they will be proclaiming the name of the company that if you see their bookkeeper, if you make any transaction with that organization, you cannot regret. That means their bookkeeper there is very honest. No corner for him or her. It reduces wastage of taxpayers' money. It makes people accountable for their action when in government or private organization. Yes. When there is transparency for the staff or anybody that is holding the account of a set of an organization, if there is transparency for him or her, there is accountability for him or her, and there is prosperity for the person, it enables the person to be accountable for anything that is doing under government or anything that is doing under the private organization. Because there are some people that if they are working with government parastatals, they will embezzle the money, they will embezzle their money, they do those things, no accountability for anything they did, you cannot trust them in any day. So if such a person go to private organization, or at the end of the day, or unfortunately for them, they go to private organization to work, within 2 or 3 years, if they manage that private sector for a year, they are very lucky, because they will disorganize everything, they will embezzle their money, even the organization will collapse as soon as possible. Another one is that it reduces incidence of bribery and corruption. It reduces incidence of bribery and corruption. For instance, now if the bookkeeper is transparency, if the bookkeeper can account for any deal he or she did, if the bookkeeper is honesty, there is no need for him or her to bribe anybody. For example, now maybe they said that at the end of the section or a term, the auditor is coming to audit the account of an organization. If you are transparent enough, you are honest enough, and you can account for anything you did, any transaction you made, you don't need to bribe them. You will see some organization when they said auditor are coming, the people to check their accounts are coming, you will see them putting which amount of money in envelope for bribe, so that they will be able to cover them. They are bird of the same feather. The bookkeeper that is bribing them and the auditor that is collecting bribe, they are the same thing. That means there is lack of this TAP in them. No, they are not trustworthy, they are not transparency, and they cannot account for all the transactions they make. That is, there is no this quality are not in them. That is why they are bribing. But if there is transparency, accountability, and probity in that organization, or in the staff that are working in that organization, they don't need to bribe anybody. So that is the way it reduces bribe and corruption in an organization. Effect of lack of transparency and accountability and probity. Effect of TAP in organization. We have looked into the advantages. This is effects. misappropriation of fund and error in accounting record. Yes, if there is no transparency, if TAP is not present in an organization or in the workers of an organization, they will misappropriate the fund. There is no any amount that they can pump into that business that can lead to success. Yes, they will mismanage the money. They will mismanage the resources. For example, now the people that are cooking for some people, let's say some people that are cooking for the government school children, government school students, if they give them 10 or 15 bags of rice, that for at least for this section, I think these 15 bags of rice will help you. Will be able to use it to manage the primary school you are cooking for. If there is no this TAP in that person, the person will manage, like make it be like 15 or 10 bags of rice or 12 bags of rice. Assuming they gave the person quality rice, foreign rice, the person will mix it together with local rice, so that at the end of the day there will be remnants for him or her to be eaten inside or for sale. That means there is lack of this TAP in such a person. That is misappropriate of fund or resources and error in accounting record. Yes, where they are supposed to record the money for 15 bags of rice, they will be recording the money for 10 bags of rice. By the time they hear that the auditor is coming or people to check their account is coming, they will start erasing it or hiding it or find the ways to join the things together, so that if we look as what they gave them to spend, that is misappropriate of fund. Award of contract to an incompetent contractor. Yes, that is lack of transparency, accountability, and probity. Let me say honesty. They will award contract to incompetent person because such a person, assuming for example now, this our road that they are doing now, that they are constructing, they will give it to him. They see competent person to award that contract to, but maybe that person there is presence of TAP in such a contractor. It will not bribe them, it will not give them money, it will not cover up anything for them, so that at the end of, because they will not see what they will chop, they will not see anything from that contractor, they will not award that contractor to him or her. They prefer either they give it to another contractor and there is no the road is of no value at the end of the day. Maybe they can use it for just for a year instead of using it for several years. But due to bribery and corruption that they will do, they will award that contract to another person or any incompetent contractor. They don't care, they don't mind at the end of the day if the work is not going fine. Another one is inability to pay wages and salaries of the worker. Yes, when they have already misappropriated the fund given to them, they have mismanaged the resources of the company. At the end of the day, they will not be able to pay the salaries and wages of the workers. Yes, then continuity of the organization will be threatened. Continuity of such business, when there is no transparency, accountability, and probity, will be threatened. There may not be continuity. I've said it earlier that if there is no TAP, there is no transparency, there is no accountability, and there is no probity, they will mismanage the money, they will mismanage the resources, they will mismanage the fund, they will be selling out, they will be chopping the money, they will be gaining, they will be running the business with huge amounts, and the money coming in, they will be mismanaging it. Mr. Labaja, come take this. Auntie Labaja, come this. Let me borrow you this. If you give me this, I will not request for that money you borrowed again. So at the end of the day, the company will run into loss. That is effect of transparency, accountability in business. Solution to lack of transparency and accountability and probity in business. If there is no this TAP in business, we must look into way to solve it, way to solve that problem. Number 1, recruitment of well-versed bookkeeper. You examine your bookkeeper very well. Even before you appointed him or her, you make sure you examine him or her very well to any length. Another one is establishment of sound internal control. Recruitment and maintenance of sound management team. You look into the way to solve this problem. Maybe you select some people in the business or some people outside. For instance, now in my school where I'm working, although we don't have problem of transparency, accountability, and probity in our establishment, but at the same time we need some people to be checkmate us inside. That means we recruit some external bodies among the parents of the students, among the outsiders, among the vulnerable people outside. We employ them to come in to the school to checkmate us, so that they put us through, so that we have it in mind that the management team are coming. Let's put this thing in order, so that if they come, they will not be saying, how did you do this? How did you do that? So that is recruitment and maintenance of sound management team. Another one is punishing any workers that violate the due processes. Yes, if anybody mismanage the fund, or if anybody do what he or she supposed not to do, maybe embezzlement or mismanaging of the resources, or maybe the person is not transparent enough, you have seen the feel that this person is in danger to us in this organization. Honestly, you may even sack him, you may relieve the person, you may look for a way or means to punish such a person, so that it will serve as a lesson for others. Another one is constant auditing and record. Constant auditing and record. From time to time, you employ the auditor to come and audit the account of organization periodically. It may be at the end of the term, it may be at the end of the month, it may be at the end of the week, as you wish. That if they check it, if they are coming, the bookkeeper will put things in order, so that there will not be problem at the end of the day.